I am, and I will be the MC for today's webinar. Before the webinar starts, I would like to invite the attendees, everyone here, to get ready as the webinar will begin soon. Your cooperation is appreciated. Thank you. So we already have our speaker already here. So we would like to welcome our speaker for today, Professor Dr. Akram MZM Khedher. He is a professor and coordinator from Kuliah of Information and Communication Technology, or KICT-IIM. Professor Akram, how are you?
Thank you very much, brother Yasser.
So everything is good, Prof?
Everything okay.
Alhamdulillah, we are glad to hear that from you. Okay, so we may start real soon. So without further ado, if Prof. Akram is ready, we would like to welcome Prof. Akram for him to deliver his material. Dear Professor Akram, whenever you are ready, the time is yours.
Thank you very much, brother Yasser. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته, all of you. And I would like to welcome all of you in this sharing session. And I would like to thank the PGSS, IIOM, as well as the CPS for organizing this session and inviting me to this sharing session. So inshallah, in this sharing session, I'm going to share some slides and notice and some practical information, and then we open for any Q&A and discussion. So please write your question in your notes or in the chat box. So I will read the question at the end of the session, as well as you can, later on, you can open your mic at the end of the session and ask any question verbally if needed. So without any further ado, please allow me to share the screen. So okay. I believe that you can view my screen.
Yes, Prof.
Let us start. Okay, so the title of our sharing session is about generative AI and postgraduate research. So let me start from basic and very general background. As you know, we are living now in the fourth industrial revolution. Considering the first revolution was in the 18th centuries with basic technology. Definitely the technology were developed before that in the 13, 14, 15, 16, until 18th centuries. The Muslim contributed a lot. Muslim scholars contributed in many fields. So anyway, if we focus on the 18th centuries with the steam-based machine, followed by second revolution in the 19th and 20th centuries with electronic and mass production like TVs, like cars, radios, like many other devices at our home, were developed during 19th and 20th centuries. Refrigerators, the fans, the phrase, and so on. In the third industrial revolution, in the late 20th centuries, we have computer and internet-based knowledge. So internet were produced and knowledge, we have a lot of information, we can reach them online. Now we are in the fourth industrial revolution. This fourth industrial revolution, what are the main elements? What are the main components? The main components here are artificial intelligence, and this is our topic of today. So we want to understand, this is the background, that we are living in the fourth industrial revolution. The main component here is AI, intelligent automation, autonomous robots, as well as other components like IoT, Internet of Things, Internet of Everything, block technology, and so on. But as we can see, that AI at the top. Okay, what is the AI? What is the artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is a branch of computer science. It involves developing computer programs to complete tasks which would otherwise require human intelligence. Basically, we try to make computer think like a human being. AI is used in many ways within the modern world, from personal assistant to self-driving car. AI is evolving rapidly. What's the difference between classic programming, traditional programming, and AI techniques? Basically, traditional modeling, traditional programming, we give instruction to computer to do the task. Read, write, open, print, move, turn right, turn left. We give instruction in details. In AI, we don't give instruction. Rather than, we give the data and the result, and let the computer think how this result were produced. We have this data and we have this result. So let the computer draw and design the model. And then after that, apply this model for new data. So this is basically how AI use. We don't give instruction, but we give a result. This is our result. So now you think, you try to draw, you try to design the model to achieve this result. And then they try to design the model. After that, apply this model for any new data. This is basically the difference between traditional modeling and AI modeling. AI is not new. Were produced since 1950. So now already can say 74 years ago. So 1950, the first introduction for AI, followed by many other development, 1966, 1997. I remember this deep blue chess playing computer, and then 2017, and so on. This is some historical background. As you can see, that AI is not new. Some people think that AI started with ChatGPT. No, AI developed much earlier. So what is the new with ChatGPT? Actually, ChatGPT introduced because of two reasons. not because the techniques that is new. No, but the new thing nowadays that we have big data. Number two, we have a GPU. Before that, the technique is available, but we don't have a big data to analyze and to study, and we don't have GPU to analyze the data very fast. That's why ChatGPT was introduced recently, although the technique is not new. Okay, so now a branch of AI is generative AI. Generative AI, or generative artificial intelligence, is a branch of AI that involve using algorithms and models to create new and original content, like what ChatGPT do. This type of AI can generate content that is not copied or replicated from existing data, but produce something entirely new. This is what's happening now in ChatGPT. They don't copy and paste. They don't duplicate data, but they generate something new. How this is happening? Based on a huge big data available in the database to analyze, to learn from them. And of course, we need a very fast processor. We need a GPU here in order to analyze this huge data and try to do something similar. Not same, but similar. Okay, so now what's the difference between AI and generative AI? Basically, I will not go in details, but generative AI is a subset of AI focused on creating new data or new content that is similar to existing data. So we learn from the data that we have. We learn how the people speak. We learn how the report design, and we try to do something similar. So generative AI models are capable of creativity and can produce novel content in various forms, such as images, text, and music, videos. So many elements, many multimedia elements can be produced by generative AI. And today we will see some example, and we'll focus on research. Now, how generative AI works? Generative AI works by training on large data set. So without having large data set, the whole technique cannot work. So we need to have many examples, many cases, many scenarios, and then the system can learn from them, including images, text, audio, or any other form of data. And then use that training data to generate new content. So now we have a huge data, we learn from them, and then we produce something entirely new. It uses machine learning techniques such as deep learning, neural network, reinforcement learning to learn pattern, structure, and feature from the training data, and then use that knowledge to create a new content. What are the primary focus of generative artificial intelligence initiative? It can be used for a customer experience, retention, revenue growth, cost optimization, business continuity, or others. Example of applications of generative AI, like these are, I am sure that you are familiar with ChatGPT, but there are many other techniques. They use ChatGPT. The ChatGPT is embedded or they use similar techniques. These are also example of AI research tools of searching for information, writing assistant, grammar and rephrasing, citations, illustration, some other for data, quantitative, data, qualitative, and productivity, and so on. These are some example. I am sure that you are familiar with ChatGPT. I will run some of these applications now, and we try to do some studies. For example, ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence language model developed by OpenAI, designed to understand and generate a human-like text based on input used for various applications like chatbot, contents generation, and language understanding tasks. Some other tools, Consensus. This application is a platform for decentralized decision making using prediction markets, allowing users to forecast outcome and trade based on collective wisdom, leveraging blockchain technology for transparency and security. Some other, for example, connected papers. So we will test, but this is some example. What is the connected papers is a website that provides a tool for exploring and visualizing academic papers and their relationship. We will test some other cool bot for grammar and prephrasing. We will test, and chat doc to chat with your summarizing a long document, a chat with the document, try to ask some question about the document. This one also, Kahobi website is another tool. Describe your study, and the AI generate text, rewrite, analyze data with long list of AI functionalities. This is also another one is Islamic-based chatbots called Ansari. We will try also to learn. Let me now, I will stop share this slides and share my browser. Okay, now I will open ChatGPT. You know that ChatGPT 3.5 is available for free, but of course you can subscribe for ChatGPT 4, which is more advanced, and you can upload papers, you can upload full document there. We cannot do it in ChatGPT 3.5, and we can also generate images in ChatGPT 4. But now I will test 3.5. You know, in your research, because we are talking here about research, I want to mention something before we proceed, that all these tools that we are going to discuss today are tools to help us, is to get some ideas from them, is not for copy and paste. So I am sure that you are aware about this. We should not copy and paste from these tools, but rather than supporting our education and our teaching and learning. Now, for example, in ChatGPT, I write, please suggest a few research directions or areas about the impact of technology in education. You can see that this is a very general topic, and maybe for ICT or maybe for education or other fields as well. So now I want the ChatGPT give me some ideas. See, now I got a few ideas from, because this is very general topic, but now I can focus more. Of course, here they provided some briefing, and then these are the few research areas. For example, about investigate the effectiveness of specific educational technologies on student learning outcome. For example, another thing, study how technology affect education equity, focusing on something else. Explore the implementation and effectiveness of a blended learning approach, and so on. As you can see now, I got few ideas because maybe you are a new student, you want to get some ideas. What are the new directions? What are the new themes in this field? So now I got some idea. As you can see that ChatGPT and generative AI, good for providing new ideas and collection of new ideas. It's good for writing also some introduction. But later on, I will show you, is not good for writing citation and references. They may create a new reference which does not exist. They may produce citation are not true, because the idea of generative AI is to generate. That's why if you are looking for specific information, generative AI is not the right tool to be used. But to have like brainstorming, very good. They will provide you many ideas. For example, about gamification, about data analytics in education, about technology in special education, about ethical consideration using technology in education, teacher professional development. As you can see, about 15 different areas have been produced by ChatGPT. Now maybe let us choose one of them about, for example, research adaptive learning technologies that personalize learning experience. This is one of the suggestion was introduced among the 15 one. So please write a brief introduction about this area, research adaptive learning technologies that personalize learning experience. As you can see that they produce some introduction, some background, very general background. Adaptive learning technologies represent a significant innovation in education, offering personalized and tailored learning experience. You can see very general briefing. Again, this is not for copy and paste, but give you some ideas, give you a general background. So now your job is to write, your job is to get an ideas and to start your work from here. Again, for example, I ask the ChatGPT again, please write few research questions about research adaptive learning technologies that personalize learning experience. And they propose a few research questions. But again, when you go through the research questions, you will find them, maybe many of them are not suitable for your research. But it's good to start from here, and then you can get ideas to modify, to start from here, and so on. How do adaptive learning technology effectively assess student prior knowledge and learning gap, and so on? What are the measurable effects of adaptive learning technology on student engagement, motivation, and so on? How do adaptive learning systems accommodate different learning style and preference, and so on? So you can see now I got many ideas. I can pick up some of them, and I can start from here. But again and again, these are not for copy and paste, because some of the points may be out of my scope. For example, here, as you can see, including K-12 school. Maybe this is out of my scope. Maybe another long-term effect of exposure to adaptive learning. Maybe this is out of my scope, and so on. So that's why we need, very important, to read and to rethink and make use and modify the proposed question or proposed objective, and so on. Same thing, please suggest a few research objective about this topic, and then they provided for me few suggested research objective. But again and again, you need to read, you need to think, you need to rewrite, you need to understand well and improve. So don't copy and paste. You will face a problem. You will be in trouble somewhere. Okay, now this ChatGPT, I'm sure that you are all familiar with. Now I want to test some other tool. This tool, consensus, find research paper, because as I told you just now, ChatGPT and similar generative AI is not for asking specific research, specific information. They will generate, even for verses of Quran, even of hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. They will generate a new hadith. They will generate a new verse of Quran. And also, if you write the one verse of Quran and ask them which surah, which chapter, which verse number, they may provide wrong information, because the idea of generative AI is not for finding and representing information. The idea is something else. The idea is to search in big data and try to make something similar. So that's why when you ask about very specific information, they are not the right tool. So some student or some people, they think that ChatGPT, you can do anything with ChatGPT. No, you need to understand what is ChatGPT and for what purpose. Okay, now this find research paper in this website. I search for the same topic, research adaptive learning technologies that personalize learning experience. Okay, this tool, they found for me a few research paper related to this topic, and they summarize for me. This is the title, using adaptive learning technologies to personalize. This is the title of a paper, and this is summary of a paper in 2 lines. And from here, from cite, if you press to cite, you will find the citation of the paper in APA format, or maybe Chicago if you want. And also you can press here to the link, DOI link, to visit the website and to download the full paper if available. If it's open access, then you can download it. Otherwise, it will not be available. Anyway, as you can see, also you can copy the text, copy the citation. You can save for in your favorite. You can share with others. You can also find some suitable information and how many citations and so on. Another paper also related, another a few other papers. So you can find more information. And also the system will summarize the 10 papers, analysis of 10 papers with the citation, with the references. This is a correct reference. So this is a summary, key insight of the main papers, the 10 papers, and some basic information. You can see that this one can help you in the literature review. When you want to do a literature review, and this is a conclusion of the 10 papers. What are all these 10 papers trying to do? So you can see that this is, of course, you can Copilot. If you press Copilot, you will find this summary and the conclusion of most relevant papers to this topic. Okay, now if you press to one of the papers, also you will find very details and so on. Now I will show you, of course, these are the papers. You can see these are the papers and related search to the topic and so on. Okay, so now as you can see that this one, also you can use a filter to filter the year, filter the journal, or which Q1, Q2, Q3, the number of citation for each paper, the domain, and so on. So this is also, you can do some filtration and share the information and save and so on. Now, I want to move to another system, also based on AI. This one is more for visualizing paper and finding some connection between papers. Some of these websites need subscription. They provide maybe some free and limited in space to search with, but if you need to have full subscription, you may need to pay anyway. So you see, this one is the name is Connected Papers, connectedpapers.com. This find a connection between papers in a graph and tell you who cited who and so on. So now let us search for some information. For example, research adaptive learning technology that personalized learning experience, the same topic. And we got a few papers related to our search. Also, you can find the PDF here. It's available. You can find also here the DOI. You can find maybe Google Scholar. And of course, the full PDF. This is for open access papers. The new thing here, you can press here, Connected Papers, and you will find some relation and some links between papers. Okay, see here, for example. Okay, this is an example of one paper, and you see the other papers that related to this paper. For example, this paper is the integration of AI and machine learning in education and its potential to personalize and improve student learning experience. You see that those papers are related, and this one 2022 and this one 22 as well, 23, and the citation between those papers, which paper cited which papers and so on. And then you can press for any of these papers and find more details. And these are the papers related. You can see here, just pass your mouse and you will find the papers are related. This is another example about the connection between papers. Of course, if there are some limited data available for free subscription, but if you need a full subscription, you need to pay some amount. Okay. Now, why these two websites that we saw just now? Because the ChatGPT has a limitation for citation and accurate papers. That's why those two websites that I presented are good to find a correct citation and correct references. Now I want to move to other website, which is the Coolbot. This one, as you can see here, we can do many things: rephrase, grammar checker, plagiarism, summarizing, citation, and translation, and so on. Let us do some experience. Let me bring some text and test here. For example, let me bring some of the text that we have here. The conclusion that we produce in this consensus. I copy, and then I come here. Let me try rephrase, and I paste here. So now I want to rephrase this text. I press here. As you can see now, I rephrase the text, and I want the change to be fewer change or more change. Also, you can adjust. I want big change, more change to the original text. As you can see here, for example, adaptive learning technology are providing to be effective in personalizing education experience. For example, adaptive learning technology are showing to be good at making learning more personalized, which lead to better result in learning. For example, as you can see, rephrasing. And also, fewer change or big change also you can do. Here, fewer change. And also you want this one to be more academic. You can press the academic. Now it's more academic, or maybe formal, or a formal result, formal letter, for example, or simple language. Also, you can do it, make it simple language or standard, or maybe you want to shorten it. You want to make it short so you can see now is shorten it, or maybe you want to expand, add more information. Also can see is adding more information. Of course, if you, it's good to read and understand what's going on and what's the change have been made. So this one, this is an example of this website. So you can see now, let us read. It becoming increasingly clear that adaptive learning technology are effective in personalizing education experience, which ultimately result in improved learning outcome. The ability of this technology to personalize, as you can see now, because we expanded, but if we shorten it, so we focus on the main thing. Learning outcome are improving as adaptive learning technology personalize education. These technologies, so they use AI to generate, to summarize, and so on. So this is cool boot. Of course, you can do other things like plagiarism check, grammar check, for example. Let us go for grammar check. Let me go for grammar check. Let me insert same text, and let me change by myself. Adaptive learning technology, let me write here, is improved to effective in personalized education. As you can see here, the correct for me is to be R. So you can agree, just press here, so they change it again. Here also they suggested better text for me, better language, the integration of artificial intelligence and machine learning allows, artificial intelligence and machine learning allows for real time. Anyway, some improving in the language. Another, of course, translation, of course, citation, and AI detector. They find the plagiarism from AI generative technique. That's why we should not use AI generative technique as it is. But all those tools is to help you. Now let me summarizing the text. Let me go to summarize and also put it here. How much summarization? Let me summarize this one. And also you can see select keywords. This is another advantage. When you have a text, they can extract, they can generate keywords for you. For example, you have a paper, you have abstract, they can help you to generate the keywords. And here I summarize this paragraph. Now I want to have it longer. Re-summarize, or maybe very short, re-summarize. You can see only 2 lines. Very good. Sometimes we have no time to read the full paper, so we summarize the paper. At least we know what is this about. So this is also another thing for summarizing a text. So rephrasing and checking the grammar and summarizing text and translation. Of course, you can use Google Translation because Google Translation is also AI. They use AI technique for translation. And citation, we saw some citation in the previous websites. Now I want to move to another website. ChatDoc. ChatDoc, this is the website. ChatDoc, basically to chat with the document. The first thing what you need to do is to upload a paper or book or thesis or report. Example, I uploaded one of the papers that I just got from here. Here, as you can remember that we have some papers are available, PDF. Here, sorry. Okay, this one, the integration of AI and machine learning education. This PDF is available. I downloaded, I uploaded here in chat. in chat doc. Chat doc, I uploaded the paper first. Now I can ask a question about any part of the thesis of this paper. Of course, if this paper is a long paper, is a thesis or book, it will be very good to have some summary of the book, because reading a book is not that easy job. Maybe you can ask, what is the new here? I ask a few questions. For example, how is this paper related to personalized learning experience? So I just ask this question, and then they show me how, they answer this question. Maybe you have a thesis, or maybe you have a book. Ask a question, how this book related to this topic, what this book mention or discuss about this topic. Because sometimes the book has a lot of things, but you want to find a conclusion, you want to find a summary. So this one can help you. And then you can move here and ask a question. For example, I move here. This is the full paper. And this table, there's one table here. I press here and I ask a question. What is the new here? What's the new here? And they found some result. Let us have some chatting here. Let me go to the abstract and write something. What is the problem of, what's the research problem? What's the research problem of this paper? The research problem of this paper is the need for more research to fully understand the capability and limitation of AI and machine learning in education. Anyway, this is the AI generative AI text. But for you, you need to read and agree with, or maybe disagree with. And then you can ask about any other things. What is the, let us go to the conclusion, for example. What are the key finding here? Are the key finding here? And then the key finding are like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So this is, you can chat with any document, and then you can, of course, here you can delete, you can keep, save it, you can share, you can, for example, save and copy or other document, and so on. So these are, you can also have many documents. For example, this is another document, and also this is another paper. So you can see some recommended question. How does the incorporation of a pre-trained language model affect the runtime, and so on? What scenario are suggested to benefit from using a large language model, and so on? How do selective multi-model join queries, and so on? So you can see these are the questions that you can ask, and then the system will try to find the answer. So you can upload the paper by yourself. You can upload the thesis. You can upload the document, the book, and then you can chat with the document. Okay, another system that I want to show you today. This is the Avoid Not. Avoid Not has also, last time was different name, but now the name has been changed, or combined, actually, two websites combined together. Anyway, so what you can do here in this website: plan my lesson, grade student, solve problem, suggest interview question, suggest survey question, analyze data, analyze interview, generate CSV. This is a file that you can open by Microsoft Excel or other statistics tools, interview, label speakers, code interview, define how narrative analysis, research proposal, plan my study, further research, suggest research conference, suggest journal, write Twitter, suggest a title, find a new idea, ask anything, and translate, and so on. You can see many things related to research. Also, critique this, proofread, summarize, and write literature review, write introduction, write method, write abstract, conclusion, discussion, and so on. This is in this website. Let us have also some testing. Now, because I did some testing here. Okay. Now, now, okay. By the way, also you can modify the text. For example, now I did some testing before. Let me see. Okay, let us do it again. Now let us find some. Let me copy the text, some text that we did before, like for example. Okay, let me copy this one again. Now let me go here about suggest a journal. Let me try. What do you want to do? You can also have in save whatever thing in the favorite. Let me suggest a title. Let me write here the text that I have, and then suggest a title for me. Take some time. That's why I did some tests before, but it did not work. Okay, now I included the same summary that we generated by other websites. Now, please suggest a title for me. Now, the title they suggested for me, Transformative Potential of Adaptive Learning Technology Personalizing Education for Improved Learning Outcome. This is just an example. Of course, you can modify from here. Maybe you don't like it, modify. For example, I want to modify this one, and then you can save. You can press here and save it. So it will be saved for later on. You can find it, and you can also add whatever, for example, introduction. And then you can add, and then you can edit. Okay, now I want this one already saved. Now I want to suggest, for example, journal. This is, and then right here, suggest some journal for me and related to my topic. So they suggested a few, and relevant high impact journal, quick response time and high impact journal. You see, they suggested some journal and some discussion, some information about the journal. Okay, also if you want to save, just press here, save. You can modify or write your notes. Now I want to have something else. I want to, for example, find idea for new studies. Now, find idea for new studies. Just okay. Try the new ideas. It's supposed to be. Okay, suggest interview question. This is maybe needed by student. Suggest interview question. Okay, introduction question. Can you please state your full, maybe because this is you want to ask to the respondent. Can you please state your full name? What's your current occupation, your role, and so on? Then the main question, based on your experience and knowledge, what are some of the key learning processes that contribute to effective education outcome? So these are the proposed and suggested interview questions to make use of them. But of course, as I mentioned again and again, those are supporting tools for you to get some ideas. It's not to copy and paste. Don't copy the question and ask without reading and modifying and making sure that this is related to your study, because we cannot blame the AI. We blame the student who did not follow up the right way and the guideline. Okay, could you discuss any educational intervention or program that have had a significant impact on student learning outcome? How do you perceive the use of technology, particularly adaptive learning technology, in the field of education, and so on? So you can see now how many questions we have. The introduction, question 2, main questions 8, follow-up question 5, final question. Of course, you can combine all. You can modify. For example, final question. Is there anything else you would like to add or discuss? Are there any specific research studies or article from high impact journal that you would recommend for further reading? Would you be willing to participate in any follow-up interview or discussion? You can see that they suggested interview question from A to Z, from your name until the further discussion and so on. So this is for suggest interview question. And as you can see here, too many other things we can make use to analyze the data. Of course, we need the data first to analyze the data, analyze the interview. If you have the answer, then you can analyze the interview. And then here, let us research a proposal. I research a proposal also. Again, let us have research a proposal. Okay, research a proposal, the title, let them finish first. Okay. The title, investigating the impact of adaptive learning technology on student learning outcome in higher education. Introduction, objective, methodology, qualitative phase, quantitative phase, expected outcome, contextualization, conclusion. And the very important thing is the warning. AI may not provide real source. Any source it gives could be fake. This is the very important. And again, this is not to copy and paste. I came across some students, they copy and paste for assignments. I give assignments without reading, without understanding, they copy, paste, and submit the work. I give them 0. So please, this is a tool for supporting, not for copy and paste. So anyway, these are some examples. So you can do a lot of things here. Finally, final websites for today. Of course, there are many tools. There are 100 tools. So I just pick up a few. Ansari, this is Islamic-based AI system. They use ChatGPT 4.0, but they try to have accurate Quranic verses and hadith. Because as I mentioned before, that ChatGPT and other generative AI, they don't provide accurate verses of Quran and Hadith. When you ask about a specific thing, they generate a new text for you. So this Ansari.chat, they provide correct Hadith and Quran. For example, let me ask a question here. Let me ask a question. Please provide me some Quranic verses and Hadith related to below research summary. So now I put the summary here. Oh, sorry, this is not the summary. Okay, let me copy here. Now let us see. Okay. So as you can see, even the verses provided in Arabic and English, and the correct one, not generated like ChatGPT. When you ask ChatGPT, they generate new verses and new names, and so because the idea of ChatGPT is not to provide a specific information, but to try to generate something. As you can see now, we have, for example. But of course, this is still AI system, so maybe the verse is not really related, but at least the verse is correct one, is a correct verse, correct hadith. But maybe how related, how relevant, this is another story. How relevant, maybe the system could not find suitable, but at least the verse number, the ayah, and the chapter, and the correct verse of Quran and the correct translation. This is at least correct, but how relevant to the topic, this is another story. Anyway, I think now already 1 hour. Let me go back to my slides again, because I want to end my slides here. Okay. Sorry. I want to share again. Okay, just to end the slide, so I want to mention about some okay, these are the websites that we discussed today. Okay, research topic, research topics in generative AI. Generative model for image synthesis in computer vision. We can generate images. Generative text modeling for natural language processing. We can generate text and language like a human being. We can also generate model for audio and speech synthesis. That means we generate voice like a human being. Maybe you can train the system to generate same voice of this person, or generative model for synthetic data generation, and also for a generative model for human-computer interaction, HCI, generative model for content creation and augmentation, and ethical and social implication of generative AI. Of course, this is another thing very important. That's why I wanted to end the slide here. Why ethics in AI is important, because there is a lack of transparency. We don't know how they generate this data, how they generate this text. That's why there is a lack of transparency. Accuracy. Sometimes they generate fake data. They generate wrong information. Sometimes bias, because the system will analyze data of others. If the data is not correct, that means the result also will not be correct. If you provided data, fake data, biased data, the result also will be biased. Intellectual property, this is another thing. The system may try to generate ideas similar to data that has been protected. Or also, we should not copy paste from those AI systems. Cybersecurity and fraud, this is another thing, and sustainability, because here also very important, when somebody rely on those system, when one day you want to write, when you want to produce a text, you may face a problem. And also those systems require power, require energy, require data. So that means there is, if we keep relying on them, if the data is not available, if the power is not available, so you will be in trouble. So these are some issues: bias, fairness, privacy, transparency, accountability, responsibility. So who is responsible for the generated data, for generated text? We cannot blame the AI. AI is a tool to help us. We cannot blame them. And security, ethical use, job displacement, and so on. So how far robotics engineering should go? Can we teach robots ethics? How can ethics be inherited in the programming of future robots and AI? Which ethics? Ethics of manufacturer, of ethics of programmer, ethics of users. So we need to agree about which ethics. So can AI reach to the level of wisdom? Definitely can reach to the level of data, information, and knowledge, but to the wisdom, this is a questionable. So we need to know the limitation of AI. And I want to stop here. Sorry for taking more time, and let us open if any Q&A, because now already past one hour. The session is for 1 hour, if any.
Right. So thank you so much, Prof, for your sharing. Before we open the Q&A, me, perhaps, since maybe I would represent my colleagues here, that we are extremely grateful and also happy to, being benefited from your speech today, from your sharing, because you told us, right, you briefed us the basics of AI and generative AI, which is important for us, especially if we are not coming from ICT background. So it's good for us laymen. And also you mentioned about us, ChatGPT. You even demoed to us ChatGPT, Consensus, Connected Papers, Quillbot, ChatDoc, AvidNote, and even the most surprising one for me is Ansari, the Islamic-based generative AI. So we're happy about that. And yes, we are opening the Q&A session for the participants. So I'll help to read the questions, or if everyone wants to open their mic, you may also do so. Okay. So we are still waiting. Yes, everyone, you may put in the chat box your questions, or you may also just unmute yourself and speak to us.
I am Ifat Majid. Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, please.
I am I am a university teacher, and in the last semester, my students submitted a research paper, and I found that the students had used the chat GPT so much that it was very difficult for me to identify. I mean, everything seemed perfect. I mean, what do you do at that time? How do you? I felt very, what should I say, in a corner, because I thought that I was overmarking them, because it was very difficult to tell what was their original condition, because I knew many of them who were actually not so highly proficient in writing up a thesis. So what do you do in that kind of situation? How would I check? Is my question clear?
Thank you very much. Yes, clear. Yes, clear. Thank you very much for this important question that we face, all of us. Actually, there are some systems can also find plagiarism in the generative AI. There are some, even Turnitin nowadays, Turnitin, they have a function to check the plagiarism from generative AI. But my suggestion in general, to have more mark on the presentation, because actually it's very difficult to detect, very difficult to find. Maybe we don't have tool to check, or maybe the student are too smart. As we can see now, we have many systems. They can copy the text from here and paste to another tool to rephrase and so on. So my suggestion always is to make the main evaluation for the presentation, because if they copy from generative AI, they will not able to present. So that's why the presentation should carry the high mark. And then if the student are capable, this is another story.
Okay, so I have to mark according to my impression of the student. That's what I actually did, because I knew the student from their classwork and class presentations, but still I felt that the marking was not according to their ability, I had that feeling, and I was not feeling very good about it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, this is a general problem. I am also facing same thing. So I don't have such a solution for now, because those systems are very popular nowadays, and students are able to make use of them even better than the lecturer.
Yes,
And
that's true.
they are relying on them because very helpful. They, without writing a full, last time we need to write the full reports in many days. Now in 5 minutes, as we can see now, I did the proposal in 1 click. So that's why this is a open problem. I don't have such a solution, but my suggestion is to evaluate based on a presentation. So at least when the student present, and then based on the discussion Q&A, you can evaluate better than evaluating from report, and we don't know who produced this report. Thank you very much, Doctor. Okay, Brother Yasser, any more? Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you for the question. And Prof, we do have one more question here from Fadlin Ahmadun. So basically, the person says, Assalamu alaikum, Prof. Thank you for the very enlightening sharing. So the question is this: as most of the AI for research needs subscription for extensive usage, which service do you most recommend where it is worth paying for? So perhaps in summary, the person asks which AI tool for research that is most affordable, most worth it. Yes.
Yes. Okay. My suggestion, for example, like chat doc, the one that you chat with your document, collect the document and subscribe for 1 month only, and then you can upload 100 papers within 1 month, or maybe you and your friends together subscribe. Don't subscribe for 2 years during the whole study, but in 1 month, and then you can collect all papers that you want to analyze and chat with within this period of time. This is my suggestion. Another for other system as well. I mean, you plan your study well and then subscribe. They are not expensive, by the way, few dollars only. Or maybe a group of students can subscribe together and they can share the same account, maybe if this is acceptable. And I mean, this is the suggestion. Of course, some of them also, they have a free subscription or free trial for 1 month, or for a limited number of papers, limited number of searching. Yes, I came across. I know this is a problem. But anyway, also we need to understand that all those tools, including ChatGPT 4.0, of course, have been developed costly. So we understand their point of view of having some subscription cost and so on. So we don't. I mean, we can understand this. So should be no problem. Like license software, also license software, also same issue. Or maybe use old version like ChatGPT 3.5. Still okay. For your information, in terms of generative text, almost similar to ChatGPT 4.0. But in ChatGPT 4.0, they have more features like uploading full document, like generating images. But for the text, for research questions like the one that we produced just now, almost same. Okay, thank you. Any more question, if any?
Yes, Prof. We have one more question from Brother Haikal Adha from, I think, Clove HS. So, Prof, may I read his question?
Okay, please.
So this is quite a long question. I hope, Brother Haikal, if we don't get your questions right, could you please confirm back? So let me read now. So he says, thank you very much for the insightful presentation, Prof. Akram. I'm Haikal, a researcher and instructor. So I am experimenting Quillbot and other AI tools for paraphrasing and improving my grammar and phrases. When I put into AI detector, such as AI Turnitin, it still shows that my writing is 90% written by AI. So that is one issue with him. And then secondly, he said, sometimes my pure writing, his own writing, is also considered as AI. It's considered as it's coming from AI, but it's actually his own writing. So considered as AI by AI detector. So it seems that AI detector can be false positive and negative. How to address this issue? Thank you, Prof. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Actually, all those tools, including Turnitin, they provide indicator. They don't provide evidence. So when they mention that the similarity 20% or 30%, this is indicator for plagiarism, but there is no any proof. So if we don't understand this, the problem always will appear. So maybe the similarity in 50%, but actually there is no plagiarism. So that's why when there is any report by Turnitin, we need to double check to see whether really there is a similarity in the text. Sometimes there is a similarity, but the Turnitin is just 10% or 5%. But there is some one paragraph, full paragraph is copy paste from other reference. This cannot be there. Should not. This is wrong to have to quote some text without writing a reference, even if the Turnitin give only 5%. Otherwise, maybe Turnitin give 50%. But when we check, there is no complete, there's no quoted text. Actually, for example, sometimes the name of the university, International Islamic University, Malaysia, they consider as a plagiarize from other reference. But we know that this is a name of university and different things. Sometimes maybe you want to include verses of Quran, Hadith. All of them they will consider plagiarism. So without further checking to the report, we will face this problem. I understand your point of view that sometimes they tell that there is a plagiarism, but actually there is no. That's why the manual checking. This is give us just indicator, but no evidence at all. So we need to double check. So we should not rely, and we should inform the supervisor and others that we should not rely on Turnitin without a further checking. So let Turnitin provide a report. After that, you check manually. Is there any quoted text from other reference without having a reference? This is the manual checking that we should have. Otherwise, we will always face this kind of a problem and issues. I hope that I answered part of the question. I don't have some of these questions. I don't have a solution for it. Sometime, yes, they provide, as you mentioned in the question, false negative, false positive. Sometimes, yes, that's why maybe you can do a research. You can just write a text from your own and see the Turnitin, whether this is what the Turnitin say about it, and then you can do some research about the AI detector and so on. Let us have some research related, but I don't have such suggestion. But of course, I just want also to mention, when you write in ChatGPT to generate text for you, you also can write in the question, please write a novel and unique introduction. So this will definitely reduce the Turnitin similarity report. So it depends on how you ask a question, but I don't mention about this, but you can generate novel text, unique text. Anyway, thank you. Any more question, if any?
Hey, so we hope that answers your question, Brother Haikal. If I look at the chat box, I don't see any more questions except for this one. I'm not sure, is this a question or a statement? Brother Isa Ismail, could you please confirm? So he says, Prof explained more about citation and reference techniques. I think he is asking questions. So could you please explain about citation and reference techniques? But I think this is research methodology, what he's asking, not really about generative AI. But perhaps, Prof, anything you would like to share about that?
Yeah, I mentioned actually generative AI is not for writing a citation and references in general. And if you ask them to write references for you, that means they may write fake references. So that's why we need to understand how generative AI work. So don't ask about a specific question. The model have been developed to analyze big data. This is number one, and to generate new data. This is the model itself. So if you have application for different purpose, so you don't use ChatGPT. Don't ask ChatGPT about name of one person, the first president of US. They may generate some fake name, because the model itself not for this kind of a question. So ChatGPT and other generative AI is not for citation and references. But I show you some other examples, some other applications are used for this kind of citation and references. The one that connected papers and so on are for a citation and for references. So use the right application for right tools for right applications. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prof. And once again, I don't really see any more questions. So perhaps we may end the session properly. So that will mark the end of the question and answer session. Thank you, Prof. Akram, for the answers that you provided for the attendees. And thank you to the attendees for the active participations for the questions once again. And we have come to the end of the event. On behalf of the organizing committees, I would like to apologize if we have made any mistakes. Once again, Prof. Akram, thank you so much. Myself, I am taking lots of notes. I have my notes here, and I may as well try out the generative AI tools very soon. So I end my duty as Master of Ceremony today for this event, for this webinar with Wabillahi tawfiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, everyone.
Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Prof.